Now, the problem with that, of course, is that's very much point in time. You get that report, and let's say someone handed me a report right before we started this webinar. By the end of this webinar, my attack surface may be vastly different. What are the common challenges with a modern attack surface, and why does ASM exist in the first place? So, really the reason why attack surface management is so important today, and how it's gone from being a relatively new space to being rapidly adopted across the world, really comes down to the complexities with the modern attack surface, right? We've seen the rapid adoption of cloud over the last decade or more. We see agile development processes. We see now more than ever, different parts of the organization have the ability to spin up their own cloud assets and infrastructure, and for their own projects and programs and things. And so what that's really led to is a real challenge for security people around getting visibility of what's actually out there on the internet. What is the actual attack surface, right? So really one of the first challenges, and probably the biggest core foundational challenge for the modern attack surface is getting that visibility, right? And not just getting a visibility, point in time, but this should be a continuous process, right? A lot of organizations today do really struggle with the high rate of change and the dynamism of their attack surface, and that leads to you getting stale data. And so, we saw back in the day, before ASM was a thing, many years before that, consulting companies would do like these attack surface assessments, where they would look at an organization's attack surface. There'd be some manual reconnaissance involved in that, and then you would get a report at the end of that assessment. Now, the problem with that, of course, is that's very much point in time. You get that report, and let's say someone handed me a report right before we started this webinar. By the end of this webinar, my attack surface may be vastly different, right? If you've got multi-cloud environments and you have agile development processes, we've got customers that I've seen that have assets going online, offline in a matter of minutes, right? And so having real time or as close to real time scanning and discovery is really key when we start thinking about how to create your attack surface management program. And then the last piece to this is around noise. So most of the people on the call, I'm sure, have experienced this being in security, right? Noise is a real problem in security. Alert fatigue is real. We all use multiple different tools. There's multiple different tools and people internally that are begging for our attention, right? So being able to cut through that noise and actually focus on the real issues that matter is really key. And that's what any good and effective attack surface management program should include, right?